Hey everybody. So like I said at the very beginning in like my intro vlog, I plan on showing you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly of being a Christian. So today's gonna be one of those days where I share the not so great day. Actually right after New Jersey, I had a really hard week. It was a week where actually like work was really good, but spiritually it was just like I was being attacked on like everything I had said beforehand that I was really solid on. Like my intentional singleness was really good. I wasn't entertaining any guy stuff. I also like had said at one point that I was really happy that God was taking over my life, because then that made it easier for me since he makes far better decisions than I ever will. And so I liked that he had taken control of my life. I also talked about like friendships being really important to me and how like I loved my friends and it was awesome. And of course, you know, when I started to feel really solid in that, all of that got attacked. And I was not expecting it. Like usually when I think of trials, I'm like, oh, you get one trial, like one thing you're working on gets attacked. That was not the case. Everything I was working on got attacked. Like I had taken I want to say like 10 steps forward on a lot of things, and then it went like 15-20 steps back. So not fun. I was really upset. I've been doing like quiet times on my car ride to work, where it's like I drive like 30 minutes to get to work. So I've been doing this thing where for 30 minutes I'll like listen to worship music or just kind of do like a prayer where I talk to God and just like kind of say, hey, what's up, and like I send this to you, I pray for this. And then this week it was like, I want to say like 3 days straight, I was just like yelling at God and being like, why can't you just be like more direct? Why can't you just tell me what you want me to do? Like I didn't even want, and like in my loophole kind of way, I was like, I don't even want to know what the end goal is. I just want to know like, if what I do is what I'm doing right now good, or like should I stop? Like what's going on? So super frustrated, super pissed. And then and it was like this really weird inner turmoil, because I was mad at God and then I was mad at myself because I could feel myself kind of taking all these steps back that I didn't want to be taking because I had made such great progress. So it was this whole inner cycle. It was bad. The nice thing is that, you know, the week is now over. Things are now better. I feel so much better. I am happier. I sort of got to resolve a lot of those issues that I was working on this week. And it actually got me to think of this kind of like caricature in my life, or like picture. And it was that, you know, the best way I can describe my situation right now that I just went through is that when you're a Christian, you're building this foundation in God. You're building this, you know, like and to build a foundation, if anybody knows anything about construction, like you need solid bricks to build on top of. These bricks, or this foundation, is being built on the side of the ocean where there are waves, really strong waves. And so you start building, right? You take a brick and you're like, yep, I got this one, I got this one, I got this one. And so I build a wall. I imagine myself building this wall, or this part of the foundation, and then I've put cement in, and I'm like, all right, God, like this is drying, so like you're gonna watch it, right? Like don't let anything tear it down. You're gonna watch it. I'm gonna move over to like the next part of my foundation. So I leave it there, leave it to God, and God's like, I'm not sure if that's necessarily ready. I'm like, it's fine, it's drying. You just watch it. Just make sure nobody drops it. I'm gonna go this way. So as I'm working on this other part over here, this other part of the foundation, I turn around suddenly and like there's a wave and it takes down that one part that was drying with cement. And I'm just like, yo, God, what the heck? Like I just left you in charge of this thing and you didn't even watch it. Like I left you in charge. I trusted you with it. And God's like, well, I told you it wouldn't hold. I told you not to use like these cracked bricks that you found around here. And I was like, okay, yes, you did say that. However, I put cement on them, I repaired them, like they were ready, they were going to hold. And God's like, well, but if you're building a foundation, you shouldn't be using cracked bricks or mended bricks. You should be using the solid, really nice stones that are out there that you can be using. And I'm just, and in my frustration, at least this week, I was like, okay, well, where are these stones? And he's like, you have to go look for them. And I'm like, why do I have to look for them? You're the one who wants me to look for them. You're the one who wants me to use them. Why can't you just present me with them? Why do I have to do all the work? Really unfair, by the way. And God's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, you know, give me the brick. Like, you've got all this power, just present it, I'll put it on, it'll be great. And then what I came to realize is that, like, yes, God has the power to present me with this brick, with these tools, with this wisdom that I definitely need to grow. However, if he just gave it to me, one, I wouldn't really learn anything. Two, along the way to find this stone, I will also learn a lot. Like, because the thing is also that the stone that God wants me to use isn't in the little pen that I'm using. It's like out. And so while I am hesitant to admit to this, I'm a little scared to get out of this pen that I'm in, because I don't know what's out there. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, here, yeah, okay, I got broken bricks that I can mend, and like, I know I can mend them. I know that they can work eventually, or I think I know they can, because you want a solid foundation. And so I'm like, this can work, it's fine, I don't need to go out there. And God's like, yeah, you do, because you need to grow. And what I don't realize, what I don't see, is that in this journey to go out to this unknown place that will have these amazing stones that will be a great foundation for me, I'm going to learn a lot, because I'm going to see my neighbors around me. I'm going to see what sort of styles they have, and like what's worked for them, what hasn't worked for them. I'm going to see, and this is like referring to the Bible, referring to prayer, referring to like peers in my Christian community, and asking them like what's worked for them and what hasn't. Like, there's so much learning that goes about, so that when I do finally find these stones, I get to bring them back to my home, or to where I'm building my foundation, and I put them on, and like my foundation's gonna be great. So while it sucks when God lets the wave kind of tear down those foundations that you've been building, he's doing it for a good purpose. He's doing it because what you were building on was probably not strong enough. If it was able to be torn down, it wasn't strong. You need it to go out. I needed to go out for sure, and find better stones. I'm still looking for them, but I think my bigger tools right now, my biggest tools, because I'm on this journey to find them, is reading the Bible more, talking to my Christian friends about this, talking to elders at my church, prayer, and just really, the biggest thing is like obedience in God and prayer. That's not to say that I won't have any more attacks on my foundations, but hopefully next time I'll be stronger, because this week was tough. I gotta say, it was really tough. I'm glad it was over. I'm glad that I am able to move forward, and that I came to this sort of caricature, whatever thing in my head to help me sort of understand what's going on. And I'm grateful that it happened. However, I'm also really, really grateful that it's over. And I'm also really lucky that, while it is, that like for me it was only a week. I know people who've been going through trials for way longer. So even God was merciful in that, where he was like, I'm just gonna give you a hard week, and then you're gonna like figure stuff out. I don't expect that that's gonna always be the case, but I was really lucky this time around. So yeah. And I feel like the sort of story I've built in my mind, I guess you could say, of the foundation building can be applied to pretty much anybody's life, because even if you're an older Christian, like sometimes those foundations that you've been building, like over years, they get worn down from all the waves hitting them, and you have to start over, or you have to like repair that, and that's super hard. And if you feel comfortable in what you're doing, like that's really hard. I think that's almost harder to like repair something has already worked for years, and like try and find a whole new stone to replace that with. Like that is super hard. But God gives you the tools, so I've been told. I don't know, I'm in my first year, so I'm hoping he's gonna give me the tools. I'm trusting him to give me the tools and the guidance, and like the Christians around me to also give me tools and guidance and help and support. But yeah, so that was my week. I thought I should share, because I said I would share everything. So hopefully my little caricatures have helped you guys to sort of think about anything you may be going through, or if you're, if you do become a Christian or are new in the Christian world, like maybe that helps, maybe it doesn't. I just thought I should share my peace of mind, or like not my peace of mind, I should share like what happened to me, and let you know that if you are going through something similar, like God's got you. It may not feel that way. I know this week, if anything, I was pushing God away and was just kind of like, I don't want anything to do with you. Yeah, so like the best part of this week was actually the fact that even though I was being a total jerk and like saying kind of mean things and like not things that were descriptive of my faith to God and like obedience. God was very faithful, very merciful, very graceful with me. He gave me so much grace, and he didn't just decide to end my life and let me burn in hell, which I'm really grateful for. Because I know if the tables were turned, and I told him this, I was like, if the tables had been turned, I would have 100% been like, that's how you feel? Let's turn these tables and now your life is over and just burn in hell. Like, it is what it is. But thank him for sure. Thank goodness that he is so merciful, so he gives so much grace. He's so loving that even when I was being a jerk, he just blessed me with love and guidance, and that meant a lot to me. So I'm trying to make up for that now. Not that I need to, and not that I ever will, but I do feel like I need to do better for sure. Anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. Just so you know, my week did get better, and I am glad that it's over and that it's the weekend and I get to hang out with friends and like do really fun things. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you're going through something similar, you can leave a comment down below and maybe we can talk about it. I'm so down. If not, then like I'll just be praying for you, and pray for me as well. And yeah. Also, I guess I should say that I don't have all the answers. This is me just like figuring stuff out, because I am in my first year of being Christian, so a lot of this is just like figuring stuff out, seeing where it takes me. So if you've got any advice, anything that like you've had to work through that's similar to mine, I would greatly appreciate any advice you have. Leave that in the comments. And yeah, thanks for checking out my channel. And like and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.